How to Win Friends and Influence People. A timeless guide to building relationships and achieving success. Dale Carnegie's How to Win Friends and Influence People is one of the most influential books ever written on the art of communication and personal success. Since its first publication in 1936, it has helped millions of people around the world improve their relationships, enhance their influence, and achieve their goals. The book's enduring popularity is a testament to the timeless wisdom and practical strategies Carnegie offers for navigating the complexities of human interaction. Let's explore the key principles that have made this book a cornerstone of self-improvement and personal development. Fundamental techniques in handling people. Carnegie begins his book with 3 fundamental principles that form the foundation for effective communication and relationship building. These techniques are simple yet powerful tools for creating positive interactions with others. Principle 1. Don't criticize, condemn, or complain. One of the most important lessons Carnegie teaches is the futility of criticism. He argues that criticizing others not only fails to achieve the desired results, but often backfires, leading to resentment and hostility. Instead of criticizing, Carnegie suggests that we try to understand the other person's point of view. Everyone craves appreciation and understanding, and by refraining from negative judgments, we can foster a more positive and cooperative environment. Carnegie shares stories of historical figures, like Abraham Lincoln, who learned the hard way that criticism rarely leads to positive outcomes. Instead of criticizing others, Lincoln chose to empathize and communicate in a way that preserved the dignity and self-respect of those around him. This approach not only made him a more effective leader, but also earned him the loyalty and admiration of others. Principle 2. Give honest and sincere appreciation. Carnegie emphasizes the importance of appreciation in human relationships. People yearn for recognition and validation, and by offering genuine praise and appreciation, we can build stronger connections and motivate others to do their best. However, Carnegie warns against insincere flattery, which can be easily detected and often does more harm than good. He encourages us to look for qualities in others that we genuinely admire and to express our appreciation in a heartfelt manner. This principle is based on the idea that people are more likely to respond positively when they feel valued and appreciated. Whether in the workplace, at home, or in social settings, a few words of sincere praise can go a long way in building goodwill and fostering a spirit of cooperation. Principle 3. Arouse in the other person an eager want. The final fundamental principle is about understanding and tapping into the motivations of others. Carnegie explains that the key to influencing others is to align your requests with their desires and interests. Instead of trying to convince people to do what you want, show them how doing so will benefit them. This approach not only increases the likelihood of getting a positive response, but also builds mutual respect and trust. Carnegie illustrates this principle with numerous examples of how business leaders, salespeople, and even parents have successfully influenced others by appealing to their wants and needs. By putting yourself in the other person's shoes and focusing on what they care about, you can inspire them to take action willingly and enthusiastically. 6 ways to make people like you. The next section of the book delves into 6 strategies for winning people over and building strong, lasting relationships. Carnegie's advice in this section is practical and easy to implement, yet it can have a profound impact on your interactions with others. Principle 1. Become genuinely interested in other people. Carnegie argues that the best way to win friends is to show a genuine interest in them. People are naturally drawn to those who express curiosity and enthusiasm about their lives, interests, and opinions. By asking questions and actively listening to the responses, you demonstrate that you value the other person and are invested in the relationship. Carnegie shares anecdotes of famous individuals, such as Theodore Roosevelt, who had the remarkable ability to make everyone he met feel special and important. This skill was not due to superficial charm, but to a deep, sincere interest in others. By cultivating this quality, you can make a lasting impression and build meaningful connections with the people you meet. Principle 2. Smile. The simple act of smiling can have a powerful effect on your interactions with others. Carnegie explains that a smile is a universal language that conveys warmth, friendliness, and approachability. It can break down barriers, ease tensions, and create a positive atmosphere in any situation. Carnegie advises us to make a conscious effort to smile more often, even in challenging circumstances. A genuine smile not only makes others feel good, but also has a positive impact on our own mood and outlook. By adopting this small habit, you can enhance your relationships and make yourself more likable to those around you. Principle 3. Remember that a person's name is to that person the sweetest sound in any language. People's names are deeply connected to their sense of identity and self-worth. Carnegie emphasizes the importance of remembering and using people's names in conversation. When you address someone by their name, you acknowledge their individuality and show that you care about them as a person. Carnegie recounts stories of successful leaders who made it a point to remember the names of everyone they interacted with, from top executives to entry-level employees. This simple act of respect and recognition helped them build strong relationships and earn the loyalty and admiration of others. By making an effort to remember and use people's names, you can make a positive impression and strengthen your connections. Principle 4. Be a good listener. Encourage others to talk about themselves. One of the most effective ways to build rapport with others is to be a good listener. Carnegie advises us to let others do most of the talking in a conversation and to encourage them to share their thoughts, feelings, and experiences. By listening attentively and showing genuine interest in what others have to say, you create a sense of trust and understanding. Carnegie highlights the importance of asking open-ended questions and giving people the opportunity to express themselves fully. This approach not only helps you learn more about the other person, but also makes them feel valued and respected. By being a good listener, you can build stronger relationships and leave others with a positive impression of you. Principle 5. Talk in terms of the other person's interests. To connect with others, it's important to engage them in topics that interest them. Carnegie suggests that instead of focusing on your own interests, you should find out what the other person is passionate about and steer the conversation in that direction. This principle is about being empathetic and showing that you care about what matters to the other person. Carnegie shares examples of how successful communicators have used this technique to win people over and build lasting relationships. Whether it's in business, social situations, or personal relationships, talking in terms of the other person's interests helps you create a connection and establish common ground. Principle 6. Make the other person feel important and do it sincerely. The desire to feel important is one of the most basic human needs. Carnegie advises us to make others feel important by recognizing their contributions, showing appreciation, and treating them with respect. However, he emphasizes that this must be done sincerely, as insincerity is easily detected and can have the opposite effect. Carnegie recounts stories of how influential people, from politicians to business leaders, have used this principle to win the loyalty and affection of others. By making people feel valued and appreciated, you can build strong, positive relationships and influence others in a meaningful way. 12 ways to win people to your way of thinking. The next section of the book focuses on how to influence others and persuade them to see things from your perspective. Carnegie offers 12 strategies for winning people over without causing resentment or conflict. Principle 1. The only way to get the best of an argument is to avoid it. Carnegie argues that the best way to win an argument is to avoid it altogether. When you engage in an argument, even if you win, you may damage the relationship and create resentment. Instead of arguing, Carnegie suggests finding common ground, showing respect for the other person's opinion, and steering the conversation toward a mutually beneficial outcome. Carnegie shares examples of how avoiding arguments has led to more positive and productive interactions. By focusing on solutions rather than disagreements, you can influence others without causing conflict or ill feelings. Principle 2. Show respect for the other person's opinions. Never say, "You're wrong." One of the quickest ways to alienate someone is to tell them they're wrong. Carnegie advises us to avoid this phrase and instead show respect for the other person's viewpoint. Even if you disagree, acknowledge their perspective and find a way to express your own opinion without being confrontational. Carnegie explains that by showing respect for others' opinions, you create an atmosphere of mutual understanding and open dialogue. This approach makes others more receptive to your ideas and more willing to consider your point of view. Principle 3. If you're wrong, admit it quickly and emphatically. Carnegie stresses the importance of owning up to your mistakes and admitting when you're wrong. By doing so quickly and emphatically, you not only disarm the other person, but also demonstrate integrity and humility. This can turn a potentially negative situation into a positive one, as people are often more forgiving when you take responsibility for your actions. Carnegie shares stories of how admitting mistakes has led to stronger relationships and increased trust. By being honest and transparent, you can influence others through your authenticity and willingness to make amends. Principle 4. Begin in a friendly way. Carnegie emphasizes the importance of starting conversations on a positive note. Whether you're dealing with a difficult situation or trying to persuade someone, beginning in a friendly and agreeable manner sets the tone for a productive discussion. A warm and friendly approach makes others more open to your ideas and more willing to engage in a constructive dialogue. Carnegie illustrates this principle with examples of how a friendly demeanor has helped people resolve conflicts and build rapport. By starting conversations on the right foot, you can create an environment that fosters cooperation and understanding. Principle 5. Get the other person saying, "Yes, yes," immediately. Carnegie introduces the concept of the yes, yes technique, which involves leading the conversation in a way that encourages the other person to agree with you from the start. By asking questions that elicit a yes response, you create a positive momentum that makes the other person more receptive to your ideas. Carnegie explains that this technique is based on the principle of consistency. Once people start agreeing with you, they are more likely to continue doing so. By guiding the conversation toward agreement, you can influence others more effectively and increase the likelihood of a positive outcome. Principle 6. Let the other person do a great deal of the talking. Carnegie advises us to let others do most of the talking in a conversation, especially when trying to persuade them. By giving them the opportunity to express their thoughts and ideas, you not only show respect, but also gain valuable insights into their perspective. This information can help you tailor your approach and present your ideas in a way that resonates with them. Carnegie highlights the importance of listening carefully and allowing others to share their views without interruption. This approach fosters a sense of collaboration and makes others more open to your suggestions. Principle 7. Let the other person feel that the idea is theirs. People are more committed to ideas that they believe are their own. Carnegie suggests that instead of presenting your ideas directly, you should guide the conversation in a way that leads the other person to arrive at the same conclusion on their own. By making them feel that the idea is theirs, you increase their buy-in and enthusiasm for the proposal. Carnegie shares examples of how this principle has been used effectively in business and leadership. By allowing others to take ownership of the idea, you can influence them more subtly and increase the chances of success. Principle 8. Try honestly to see things from the other person's point of view. Empathy is a key component of effective communication. Carnegie advises us to make a genuine effort to understand the other person's perspective, even if we don't agree with it. By showing empathy and acknowledging their feelings, you create a sense of connection and build trust. Carnegie emphasizes that understanding the other person's point of view doesn't mean you have to agree with it, but it does mean recognizing their right to their own perspective. This approach makes others more receptive to your ideas and more willing to engage in a meaningful dialogue. Principle 9. Be sympathetic to the other person's ideas and desires. Carnegie encourages us to express sympathy for the other person's ideas and desires, even if we disagree. By acknowledging their feelings and showing that you understand their perspective, you create an atmosphere of goodwill and cooperation. This makes others more open to your suggestions and more likely to work with you to find a mutually beneficial solution. Carnegie illustrates this principle with stories of how sympathy and understanding have helped resolve conflicts and build stronger relationships. By being sympathetic to others' needs, you can influence them more effectively and create a positive outcome. Principle 10. Appeal to the nobler motives. People like to think of themselves as having good intentions and high moral standards. Carnegie suggests that when trying to influence others, you should appeal to their nobler motives, such as their desire to be fair, honest, or helpful. By framing your request in a way that aligns with their values, you can inspire them to act in accordance with their higher ideals. Carnegie shares examples of how appealing to nobler motives has led to positive outcomes in various situations. By tapping into the best in people, you can influence them in a way that feels authentic and respectful. Principle 11. Dramatize your ideas. To capture people's attention and make your ideas more compelling, Carnegie suggests dramatizing them. This can involve using vivid language, telling a story, or presenting your ideas in a visually engaging way. By adding an element of drama, you make your message more memorable and impactful. Carnegie illustrates this principle with examples of how dramatization has been used effectively in sales, leadership, and public speaking. By making your ideas come to life, you can influence others more powerfully and leave a lasting impression. Principle 12. Throw down a challenge. Carnegie argues that people are often motivated by the desire to prove themselves and rise to a challenge. By presenting your request as a challenge, you can inspire others to take action and achieve their best. This principle is particularly effective in competitive environments, where people are driven by the desire to excel and be recognized for their efforts. Carnegie shares stories of how challenges have been used to motivate teams, boost performance, and achieve remarkable results. By framing your requests as challenges, you can influence others to go above and beyond and achieve their full potential. Be a leader. How to change people without giving offense or arousing resentment. The final section of the book focuses on leadership and how to guide others toward positive change. Carnegie offers 9 principles for leading effectively without causing offense or resentment. Principle 1. Begin with praise and honest appreciation. When giving feedback, Carnegie advises starting with positive reinforcement. By beginning with praise and appreciation, you create a positive tone and make the other person more receptive to your suggestions. This approach helps to build confidence and makes the feedback process more constructive. Principle 2. Call attention to people's mistakes indirectly. Instead of directly pointing out mistakes, Carnegie suggests using a more subtle approach. This can involve asking questions or making suggestions that lead the other person to recognize the mistake on their own. By addressing issues indirectly, you can avoid causing embarrassment or defensiveness. Principle 3. Talk about your own mistakes before criticizing the other person. Carnegie advises us to acknowledge our own mistakes before giving feedback to others. By doing so, you demonstrate humility and create a sense of camaraderie. This approach makes the other person more open to your suggestions and less likely to feel criticized. Principle 4. Ask questions instead of giving direct orders. Carnegie suggests that instead of issuing direct orders, you should ask questions that guide the other person toward the desired action. This approach gives them a sense of control and ownership, making them more likely to comply willingly. Principle 5. Let the other person save face. When correcting others, it's important to do so in a way that preserves their dignity. Carnegie advises us to avoid actions that could embarrass or humiliate others. By allowing them to save face, you maintain their respect and trust. Principle 6. Praise every improvement. Carnegie emphasizes the importance of recognizing and praising even small improvements. By offering continuous positive reinforcement, you encourage further progress and motivate the other person to keep striving for excellence. Principle 7. Give the other person a fine reputation to live up to. Carnegie suggests that you can inspire others to improve by giving them a positive reputation to live up to. By expressing confidence in their abilities and setting high expectations, you encourage them to rise to the challenge and fulfill their potential. Principle 8. Use encouragement. Make the fault seem easy to correct. When offering feedback, Carnegie advises framing the issue in a way that makes it seem manageable. By using encouragement and emphasizing that the problem can be easily fixed, you boost the other person's confidence and willingness to take action. Principle 9. Make the other person happy about doing the thing you suggest. Finally, Carnegie encourages us to find ways to make others feel good about following our suggestions. By showing them how the action will benefit them and aligning it with their interests, you can influence them to take action willingly and enthusiastically. The lasting impact of Dale Carnegie's wisdom. Dale Carnegie's How to Win Friends and Influence People offers timeless principles that are as relevant today as they were when the book was first published. These strategies for effective communication, relationship building, and leadership have stood the test of time, helping millions of people achieve personal and professional success. Carnegie's advice is grounded in empathy, respect, and a genuine interest in others. By applying these principles, you can enhance your relationships, influence others positively, and create a life filled with meaningful connections and achievements. Whether you're looking to advance in your career, improve your social skills, or simply become a better person, the wisdom in this book provides a powerful roadmap for success. As you reflect on these principles, consider how you can incorporate them into your daily interactions. Remember that the key to winning friends and influencing people lies not in manipulation or superficial charm, but in a sincere commitment to understanding and valuing others. By adopting Carnegie's approach, you can build a more fulfilling and successful life one relationship at a time.
Feel free to subscribe, share the audio, and hit the like button if you enjoy the content. Thanks for listening.